Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Let's Have a Twosome with
Seth.
and Blue. We're back for another week. It's gonna be very interesting as we always do. We had to hit the randomizer, get some questions from the people that's listening right now. Don't forget, if you are looking at us on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to our channel and also leave your comments below your questions. Also follow us on Twitter, Instagram at LHA the number two and then some on Twitter and LHA the word twosome on Instagram. Or you can follow us on our personal at.
Mine is Mirror Me Seth on Instagram and Seth Spot on Twitter.
Can we change that after today and make it all Seth Spot or Marry Me Seth? Which one did you like?
I like Mirror Me Seth.
Marry Me, so we gotta switch it. Mm-hmm. And you can follow me at It's Simply Blue. It's Twitter, Instagram. Also, make sure you join our fan page, I guess, on Facebook. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, we have like a fan. Well, I guess a public page.
Public page. I don't like the word fan page. Like it seems
on our on Facebook now.
Yeah, so make sure you go over there. We're gonna load up the videos over there as well, and you can share with your friends, family, co-workers. Get us some more subscribers. Get us some more listeners, because we're trying to build a community.
Yes, we are.
So today we're gonna hit the randomizer, and we're gonna jump into a common topic in the second half.
Yeah.
So you wanna hit the randomizer, or?
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Yeah, first of all, how was your day? Before you even get into all of that.
It was good.
You had a day off?
Mm-hmm.
What you did your day off?
Unbraid my hair.
By yourself?
I mean, you were there too, so why you acting like it's just me?
I know, but you gotta, they helped me unbraid my hair. We sat.
You did help me unbraid my hair.
Yes, you gotta put me over though. Like you gotta say that. Like
Bay helped me unbraid.
It doesn't sound the same now. Like no, it doesn't sound the same. It sounds forced. Like
it's not forced.
But I did help her unbraid her hair, and cut
my ends? Yeah.
Yeah, I learned how to cut ends today. While we watch The Wire, guys, so it could balance out, so it won't be too one-sided. Just want to put that out there. Watch The Wire while we did that. But that was cool. Like it was a good experience.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah. Next time I gotta make you do something that I usually do.
Okay.
What are you saying that for?
All right. We're gonna see what you usually do.
All right.
And you put me on the spot.
I'm gonna put you on 2K. We're gonna play some 2K, some FIFA, some wrestling or basketball. One of those 2Ks we're gonna be playing.
I'm down. Even if I fail miserably.
We say that now, but we shall see. Let's hit this randomizer and see what kind of conversation we're gonna have tonight. Boop boop boop. The question that came up the first time is: should a guy have a say in what his girl wears? So this just fell on my lap.
Yep. Should you?
I gotta think about this. I gotta pick my words wisely as I get into this topic. At the end of the day, no. A say or a say yes. I'll say yes, only because wait, why are you looking at me like that?
I need to sit back for this. Let me see what you got to say.
Nah, you should mean.
Go ahead.
Oh, God. Your next question better be a spot for you, yo. This is not fair.
Ahead.
All right. So, should a guy have a say in what his girl wears? I say yes, to an extent. The way I say that is because, to me, it's not so much of, I'm going to dictate what you wear. It's more so a say, you're like, babe, is it cool for, babe, does this look nice on me? If I'm not feeling it and I feel like, if we're going out somewhere, it's going to cause problems maybe. Not it's hard to explain. I don't want to make it seem like, you'll be wrong for wearing what you wear. Because it's not, because it's your body. You get to choose what you want to do with it, what you want to put on it.
But somehow you need to have a say in it.
But it's the same thing, but here's the thing, right? I thought about, for example, going bald. Just cut my hair, go bald. I asked her for her opinion. Babe, do you think that it would look nice on me? That's a say, no?
You're asking for my opinion.
So
I'm not telling you.
I'm not telling you either. I'm giving you my opinion. Like, all right, babe.
But you just said that you should have a say in there.
It's a say, but it's an opinion though. Like, to me, what I say, that's why I said kind yes to an extent, because I feel like it's more of a like I should be able to express my opinion with you. I'm not dictating you, because whatever I say, if you choose to wear what you want to wear, that's you. Like, I can't tell you like, nah, babe.
And then you're gonna be tight.
Nah, you can't wear this. Like, I've never said, nah, you can't wear this. Like, it's never been an issue. Like, I'll voice my opinion to you, and then I'll say, but at the end of the day, it's up to you. Like, whether I feel some type of way, whatever the case may be, that doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, it's you wearing it. And honestly, if you're wearing the clothes, I'm not really gonna be the type to be tight about it all day or all night. Like, man, she wore this. I told her like I wasn't feeling it. Da, da, da. No, because at the end of the day, like, if guys, this is how some women fail to realize. If guys are checking out your girl, that's a compliment. Like, you should take that as a compliment. As long as they don't cross no lines or they're trying to holler at her or whatever the case may be, that's a compliment. You should like take that in and accept that. Like, I have no problem with somebody complimenting her to me or complimenting her in front of me. Like, I'm like, yo, my chick bad. I already know this. Like, you just now peeping this? And that's how I look at it. Remember the time we went to the Haitian party? It was walking outside Elizabeth, like 2 o'clock. You probably don't remember this. But, like, some random dude kept looking at her. So then I got my mean grill on. Like, what the fuck you looking at? And he's like, yo, I don't mean no disrespect, yo, but your girl bad. I'm like, all right, thanks. I'm still going to grill you, but I appreciate the compliment. Because, I mean, the place I'm in, I'm not trying to show off a softie. But, all right, good looks. Keep it moving. But I appreciate that kind of stuff. So it's a give and take kind of thing. Like, it's not so much of like I'm telling you what to wear. It's more so like sharing my opinion of, what you should wear. Why you give me that face for it? Like, what's your thoughts on that?
You definitely said yes though, so I don't know.
Yes, to an extent. You forgetting the extent part. That's side eye now. That's an important key. Extent. To an extent though. So what's your thoughts on it?
I don't think you should have a say.
Hey, Roses are Red. She's tuned in the chat right now, as always.
Hey, girl. Yeah, I don't think you should have a say, and I'll explain why. Not generally, like not specifically towards me, but in general. When you pick your girl, you generally pick your girl because you're attracted to her.
Right.
Physically. Right. I'm not a man, but I've heard that men are generally attracted to a woman's physique before anything else. They're attracted to how a woman looks before anything else.
Depends.
I mean, it varies.
Yeah.
I'm sure. I'm just making a generalization.
Okay.
Generalization. I'm sure there are exceptions. Men who are different, who don't care.
Just point this way.
Who don't care
just point this way.
About all of that or whatever the case is. But to a degree, you still have to be attracted to the person. So, with that being said,
right.
If a man pulls a quote-unquote bad bitch, he already knows what he's getting himself into. He already knows that this girl is, like, he's not the only person that's going to be looking at his girl. There are other people looking at this girl and how she dresses. Not to excuse women on how they dress. There's a time and place for your attire. If you go to the club, you wear certain things. If you go to church, you wear certain things. If you go to like a family event, you wear certain things. We all know this. But certain women, exude sexuality no matter what they wear because they're gorgeous. They're beautiful, and they can't help that people are going to stare and people are going to look at them or maybe even try to talk to them because of how attractive they look. I believe, in my opinion, that you should know what you're getting yourself into. You should know that how this person is, how they dress, how, how they are, how they're going to be received when they go out in public. Pretty much is what I'm saying. So you should be prepared for that. And you shouldn't be trying to, like, you know, control what she's wearing because you feel a certain way. And I know this is a thing, okay? So you shouldn't be trying to control what a woman wears or try to have a say in it if you're not prepared for that. If that's not you, bro, leave her alone. If you can't handle all what comes with how she dresses or whatever the case, maybe you should find somebody else. Maybe somebody that's more modest, that dresses, you know, probably to your liking where you don't feel a certain way. And I'm just speaking to men that generally pulls, like women who dress more provocatively, who exude more sexuality when they dress. Whatever the case is, it's not geared to any particular situation or myself. Like, you know, I mean, I know how I dress. And he's pretty much okay with how I dress when we go out for the most part. Right?
For the most part. I'm letting you finish.
Anyway.
Dang.
But just going back to what I was saying, I feel like you should just, you know, pretty much just stay in your lane. If you know that if you're going to be having a problem with how your girl is received outside in the public.
Yeah, but
maybe
like, cause it's for some extent, right? There's a difference between dressing when you're single and dressing when you're in a relationship.
What?
In a sense, like.
Wait a minute. I need some input in this here chat.
Like, nah, because let's be frank. Like, let's be honest. Sometimes you dress a certain way because you want to draw a certain amount of attention. When a woman is single, right? And she want to go out, and she want to be like, yo, I want to catch somebody's eye. She dress a certain way, right or wrong, right? Yeah, yes, no.
Well, we all dress to look attractive.
What I'm saying is, when you're single,
when we're going out, yeah.
I guess, but when you're single, you dress a certain way when you want to attract guys, right? Do you feel like no? I'm
gonna stop you right there because a girl could literally walk out with a brown paper bag over her face.
What I'm saying is,
and over her body, and still get hollered at.
That's fine. What I'm saying is that stop trying to look for help. Let's
I need help. I need backup.
Hold up. Listen, let's meet you right now. We're gonna get there, right?
This just went left.
Nah, like, listen though, like, we're gonna get there. We didn't get there. I understand that a woman could wear just a brown paper bag and still look bad. I get that.
No. She can still draw. That's not the point. I'm not talking
about
her
attention.
I'm not talking about her looking bad. I'm talking about her drawing attention.
I get that. But what I'm saying is, there's certain outfits that women wear, right or wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, because guys do this, that is like, yo, I'm going to wear this because I'm single and I want to draw attention to myself to see if I could grab a guy's attention for the night. Right or wrong? Yes? No?
There are women who dress like that, period.
What I'm saying is, no, but just answer the question, yes or no.
But that's not everybody. You can't generalize that.
I'm not generalizing. We have to generalize it. There's people that... There's a point to this topic. So, yes or no, there's some women that dress that way, yes? Those people can't... Like, the point of my thinking is that once you get into a relationship, that mentality can't be the same, though. Like, you can't be like, I'm gonna rock this so I can grab attention. I'm not saying that whatever you wear is not going to draw attention to you. Like, so, to me, in my opinion, is like, just like we went to that party and the girl went in there with a see-through shirt. Like, do you think that's appropriate for a person that's in a relationship and or a mother or married to go to a party with a see-through shirt on?
No.
But that's my point. Like, certain things...
But that's me. But that's something I wouldn't do.
What I'm saying
is... But you're drawing your morals based on what other people are wearing. That's people's morals. That's my morals. Like, I wouldn't go to a club and just put on a see-through shirt on and have my boobies out or whatever the case is.
So what you're saying is that if a guy meets a girl that way, that he should be prepared to deal with that for the rest of his life.
If he bags her, yeah. That's what you picked up. Deal with it.
Nah. See, that's to me is like,
now you're trying to change the person. What if that's how the person is?
But we
What if that's how they dress?
But we change for each other in every other aspect, right? Certain things, like if I have a bad habit, if you have a bad habit, or if I used to do certain things a certain way, it doesn't fit the relationship and I have to change it, right? It's the same thing with the clothes, no? Like, what's so different about clothes and our, like you say, morals or our bad habits that we can't speak out on? If you really love somebody and you want to feel comfortable around that person, if that makes that person feel uncomfortable, what's wrong with him telling you that makes me, what makes it wrong for he or she to say, you wearing that makes me feel uncomfortable? Even though I bad you that way, we were both single, but now we're committed to each other. What's wrong with somebody saying that I'm not comfortable with you wearing that out? He or she. It doesn't have to be a guy like gender road. He or she. What's wrong with that? No?
But this question is geared towards women.
But that's what I'm saying. But we got to change it.
Because guys are not going to be walking out with their penis out. That's not going to happen.
But you know what I mean? Like some guys. That's not gonna happen. Some guys will walk around with their shirt off at the party, or go quick to go buy a shirt
where you've seen that?
Yes.
People walking around with their shirt off.
Yes.
At parties?
Yes.
Whoa.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's not just a gender thing. It's like it's both sides. So to me, it's like when it comes to that, we change everything.
Amen. Roses are red.
Brother.
That's how I feel too. She said, if you didn't want to risk a risque dresser, you shouldn't have gone after that. Amen.
Bro. Like I feel like
let the church say amen.
I don't agree with that. I feel like again, when you're single, you're able to do things one way. When you get into a relationship, it's okay to do things another way. Because again, we change it in every other aspect. So what's wrong with saying this makes me feel uncomfortable?
There's nothing wrong with saying that, but if you pick a person that you know dresses a certain way, they already make you feel uncomfortable when you're out with them. Like, this is even before you guys start dating. Like, before you guys, because you're not just gonna meet this person wherever and then just bag them like you my girlfriend type thing or you my boyfriend type thing. You're gonna date them. You're gonna see if you guys are compatible, whatever, and then from there you're gonna see if, like, you know, you guys can be in a relationship. So you have time. You have plenty of time, unless you just you hit it that night and wake up like, yo, this is it.
It might be that way.
But for the most part, people are gonna date. They're gonna go on a few dates and they're gonna see how the person is. They're gonna talk to the person and go from there. So you're gonna have time to see how this person is dressing. You're gonna have time. You're gonna go to dinner. You're gonna go out to party. You're gonna do stuff together to see how this person dresses. So from there, you could kind of be like, if this already makes you feel uncomfortable, why pursue it? Why continue? You're just gonna date the person and be like, nah, you gotta change.
No, but like
you gotta change who you are.
No, Roses and Red said, and she said you can ask a person to change, but don't expect it. And that's my point. It's not a thing like, because at the end of the day, like, you know how that person is. If it shouldn't be a thing where a guy can't say or a girl can't say, this makes me feel uncomfortable. Would you mind changing this aspect? Yes, I met you this way. Yes, we were single. Yes, you was rocking this when we were talking. It wasn't a proper relationship, so I didn't have the same, what word I'm looking for? I didn't have the same input or ability to say certain things at that time. But now that we're together, I can tell you that this makes me feel comfortable when we're in a relationship. No?
You can.
But that's my thing, so that's to say. But again, opposed to this, like I've told you, like you've asked me to put on your outfits, and I felt like something was, I'm like, babe, you really trying to do that? If you want to, let me just get my gun. You know what that means, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
but you know how I dress.
And okay, and that's what I'm saying. Like, that's just my opinion, and I'll let you do what you want to do. That's a say, right? Because you taking it into consideration when I say, right?
I mean, I hear you.
You're taking it into consideration. Because there's a few times when I say that, all right, babe, I'm not gonna wear that. All right, babe, I'm not
yeah,
gonna wear that.
I'll listen.
That's
I'll
what
be
I'm saying.
like, nah, you know.
So
because I'm also, but at the same time, even though I may dress a certain way, certain places, most of the times I'm like covered up for the most part, unless we going out to a party. that's when I'll probably dress like I'll show some more skin, but for the most part, I don't dress like really provocative like when I'm
You don't.
like regular. Like I don't.
You don't. So.
But if we go out,
I know to pack the gun. But that's just my thing. Like, say is just an opinion, and I feel like some guys are able to. Like, if you're in a long enough relationship, if you love each other, they should be able to express that too.
But you shouldn't force it.
I'm not gonna force you,
especially if that's how the person is.
I'm not gonna say like no. If you wear that, I'm not going out with you. That's never been a thing. Like so. All right, so that's that topic. Shout out to Roses and Red for her input on everything. Shout out to those in the chat. Right now, we're about to jump into some music, and then we're gonna come back with Twitter topic. I didn't really think of one. I don't know if you got one for us. No, we'll figure it out on the break. All right, keep it locked. We'll be right back. That right there was Miguel. Simple Things for those that's listening to us on Station Head. For those of you watching on YouTube, can't play the music. Not trying to get our station stash. If you want to listen to us live, make sure you tune into Station Head every Wednesday at 10 p.m. And we'll be right there answering the questions in the comments. If not, continue watching us on YouTube. Leave your comments below. We'll make sure to interact with you there. We're getting ready to go to our next topic.
Yep.
We couldn't really find anything on Twitter like that's buzzing. So hit the randomizer and trying to read it again, even though it's messing up. And the topic that came up for tonight, part 2, is why do people stay in toxic relationships?
Dum dum dum.
I'm gonna put that in there too. I know I've been in a toxic relationship. Have you been in a toxic relationship?
Mm-hmm.
How long did you stay in a toxic relationship?
A very long time.
You know what I say?
Nah.
I say mine. I stayed in my toxic relationship for 2 years. You can go first because I went first last time. In fact, no, I'm gonna go first because yours is more detailed than mine. My toxic relationship was the girl that ran to my phone when I was sleeping. Like, I don't know why. I guess because I was young, and like, I was young, and I don't know why I stayed in that because we went through a lot. She cheated on me. I cheated on her. Obviously, she knew that, but she didn't know that. But I knew she cheated on me. She knew I caught her when I went through her phone. I didn't go through her phone. All right, so what happened with that one? So
y'all both was just running through each other's phone.
Like, no, I didn't go through her phone like that. Like, the phone rang. It was like 2 o'clock in the morning. The phone rang, and the name on the phone was like my bae or my boo or something like that. What the? My bae, my what? So that's when we answer the phone. I'm like, yo, like, hello? You're like, yo, can I speak to such and such? I'm like, yo, who this? What's such and such at? I'm like, yo, why you calling my girl phone? He's like, man, and hung up. I'm like, I bet. Woke her up. Like, yo, who this call your phone? It was on Thanksgiving too. We went to her mom's house for Thanksgiving. And that happened. And she's like, you know, it's her ex, whatever, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, yo, I'm out. Like, it's like 3 o'clock in the morning at this point. She's like, no, you can't leave. My mom's ask questions. I'm like, I don't care. Like, nah, I'm out. And no, you can't do this. I'm like, all right, I'll stay till the morning, but I'm not staying no longer. Like, whatever. Went to sleep, woke up, and dipped. Because this is like upstate New York, so I probably would have fell asleep on the road or whatever. But that toxic relationship was very, very bad. It came to a point where we broke up, made up, broke up, made up, broke up for a little bit, and then we got back together. And then while we was broken up, I guess she got into it with some other girl who has a boyfriend. And she's like, well, it's okay if I sleep with her while we still in a relationship. I'm like,
what?
She's like, it's not cheating. I'm like, what? I'm like, at this point, I was already over the relationship because we went through a lot. And this is when I started, like, my eyes started to open to how the toxic relationship was for me. And I'm like, nah. She's like, but her boyfriend's cool with it. And I'm like, that's them. Like, I'm not trying to put my body at any risk. Like, she's sleeping with him. You try to sleep with me. Y'all sleep with each other. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what she's doing. Nah. And again, if I'm in a relationship with somebody, I'm not sharing you.
That's
I'm
just
sorry.
messy all
like, exactly.
around.
Like, I'm not sharing you for a relationship. Like, that means I don't like. I'm sharing. That means that my feelings for you is not as deep as I thought. That's just my opinion for me. So that kind of just opened my eyes. And after we broke up, she went into this whole tyrant and like started trying to threaten me and blah 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 because she didn't expect me to really break up with her. And tried to like come at me on Facebook and claim I gave her an STD and
Wow.
blah blah blah. Mind you, I've never given this girl no STD. She had STD during our relationship.
What?
Like in the beginning.
Yo, this too much.
Yeah, like it's just bad. Like she caught an STD in the beginning of our relationship. The doctor tried to reach out to her when her ex came in and told her that she got an STD. She never answered her phone. So she's like, why am I da 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 da? She tried to blame it on me. We went to the doctors. They're like, you have an STD, but he doesn't. But just to be safe, we're going to give him the pill. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that relationship was so toxic. Oh, my gosh. Like, why did I stay in it? I don't know. Like, I really don't know. I don't know. I think it was one of those points in my relationship or my life where I was drawn to drama. This is around the time I was doing me. I didn't really care. Like, I was doing me at the same time. I think looking back at it, I'd be like, yo, what was I thinking? Like, and everybody else be like, yo, we warned you. Like, if people did tell me, like, yo, this is not a good relationship for you. And I'm just like, I don't know why I never saw it. But to this day, me and my peoples, we dubbed that relationship as poison. Like, she's poison. Like, whenever we mention anything about that relationship, like, oh, remember you dated Poison? Like, that's her nickname. Like,
wow.
Like, it was
That's
bad.
messed up.
Like, she didn't get along with my friends. Like, it was, I don't know why I stayed in that relationship. The way I got into the relationship was just wrong anyway. Because she was like one of my ex's best friends. Like, it was just, they got into a fight when they like, it was just bad. I don't know why I got into this. Like,
drama is an understatement for that.
That's what I'm saying. So, I don't know why I got it. I guess because, like, I don't know. I was young and liked the drama.
Queen Unique, she's asked the question. She asked, what if you're being abused, but you love the person too much to leave? Well, I don't think I can speak on abuse much because I was, in my personal opinion, I've never been, well, in my experience, I'm sorry, not my personal opinion. In my experience, I've never been physically abused. I want to say more so manipulated, but not like abused, like where I'm like, you know, I'm getting beat up, you know, rocked every day type thing. But from other people that I've known who have been abused, if you don't walk, I've always said this, if you don't walk away the first time it happens, it's just going to keep on happening. It becomes harder to walk away from it. So it becomes, after a while, it becomes normal. Like, you know, you think you say something wrong when you probably are you know, being right, or it's justified, whatever you're saying or whatever your concerns are, and you get slapped across the face and you on the floor somewhere, you know, thinking that you said something wrong because the person couldn't handle it. That's not love. Abusive relationships is never love. And I always say this, not to say that, you know, I'm an expert at it, but I know for a fact, because I have a child, if I ever were to be abused, that is the day I walk out. That is the same day. I don't care if it's in the middle of the night. I don't care what is going on. I'm leaving, because I know if I continue to stay in that, it becomes a mental thing, because your mind is starting to get accustomed to that. You're starting to get used to that abuse.
It becomes normalized.
It becomes normalized, and you think that you're wrong. You're like, maybe I just made him mad. Maybe it's my fault. Maybe I need to not choose my words wisely. Maybe I shouldn't try to, like, you know, confront him about why he's been out late 3:00 in the morning. Maybe I shouldn't say anything. You know, maybe he was working hard that day. He had to unwind. Why should I jump to the conclusion that he's sleeping with another girl? Meanwhile, he's sleeping with the whole team of girls. So, you know, as women, we have instincts for a reason, and we should learn to use them more, and not tolerate certain things. So if you feel that this person is not, this goes for any abuse, like it goes for mental abuse, it goes for verbal abuse, it goes for physical abuse. If it happens, I mean, those, maybe the mental and the, well, not mental, verbal abuse is probably more difficult to kind of trigger, because men can kind of like, or women can kind of trigger certain words to make you feel like bad. Like, like if like, let's say if Blue asks me, yeah, where were you last night? You came home so late, and where were you? And I'm like, well, I had a hard day. I'm dealing with so much. Why would you question me on where I'm at? If I went, why would you question me? I probably went out to just, relax a little bit, to just, drink a little bit and try to get my mind off of things. Why would you ask me that? You don't trust me? I'm over here doing all of this and you don't trust me. That's manipulation. Answer the question. Like, I was out somewhere. Like, you could be honest about where you were. You shouldn't try to make the person feel bad for questioning how they feel. Like, where were you? Like, where were you? You weren't physically home at a certain time. You had me worried. You didn't check in. Where were you? Answer the question. You shouldn't have to manipulate the person to make them feel bad for feeling a certain way. Like, things like that you should probably trigger out, but you shouldn't. And if a situation is abusive, you just shouldn't stay in it, period. And it's harder, it's easier said than done, because once you're in it and you're dealing with it, it's so hard to walk away. And I think at that point you should seek help.
Yeah.
You should probably look for professional help, somebody that can, a counselor, or seek, some kind of like protection. Not protection. Well, they have
protection. Like,
protection. Something where you can,
whatever,
where that you'll be safe. But that's my opinion on that.
She also said, "What if the person is going through some stuff and they don't know how to control it?"
No.
In my opinion,
no.
It's never an excuse, because at the end of the day, the way a person reacts to certain things is how they're used to reacting to certain things. If I'm having a bad day, my instinct is not to take it out on Soph, whether it be physical, mental, whatever.
No.
Like, it's not. If I have a bad day, if I'm going through something, that should be
boxing or something. Why are you beating on somebody?
Right, like, like, even if it's, like I said, any way of like mental or physical abuse is not the way to go about it. Because at the end of the day, the person that you're dating is supposed to be your peace. So if you're going through something, you should be able to go to them like, "Babe, I had the worst day ever." Or, "Babe, I'm going through this right now for the past 2 weeks. I don't know how to handle it." Like, that's supposed to be your peace. That shouldn't be
your punching bag.
Your release. Like, that shouldn't be your release. That should be your peace. Like, you shouldn't have to go through any of that. There's no excuse why you're getting abused by someone that you care about. Because if that's the case, they don't care about you. Excuse me.
And they shouldn't be in a relationship.
Because even as parents, right? Like, I've never spanked my son. Like, that's not something that I could see myself do. Granted that, I had it done to me. They were growing in a different era, and even when that was done to me, it hurt. And I remember that, how much it hurt. So when it comes to my son, I can't even discipline him in a way of spanking. Like, I can't. Like, that's just, even my nieces, I've threatened them with it, because they were older and I didn't have, the same mental capacity to do what I needed to do with them as they grew up. But even then, it was like, all right, go do some push-ups, go do crunches. Like, I'll make them do exercise before I put my hands on them. Because at the end of the day, you should never feel comfortable putting your hands on somebody that you care about. Whether it be family, somebody you're in a relationship, whatever the case may be, because you're causing them harm now. For what?
Yeah, because you can't deal with your emotions.
That's not love.
No.
It's not love at all.
How about you go seek some therapy first, and then you decide, to get in a relationship.
Right. I don't care.
Nobody should be your punching bag.
I don't care what kind of anger management you have, like you need or whatever the case may be, because punching words turn into physicality. Physicality leads to more physicality, which leads to death. There's a lot of women or men that didn't leave relationships that they should have, and they end up dead because the anger keeps growing and growing and growing. The person keeps pushing and pushing and pushing, and they push too hard. So there should never be an instance where it's okay for the person that you're with to put their hands on you. I've never put hands on anybody that I've ever dated. The most I've done was push somebody away that was in my face while we're arguing. And even then I felt bad because one time I did push one of my ex-girlfriends and she ended up hitting the side of the bed and got the wind knocked out of her. I felt bad. I'm like, yo, like, she was mad fragile. I didn't know I pushed that hard. I was just like, move away. I kept telling her, like, please give me my space. Give me my space. I just did one of these and she flew and hit the side of the bed. And I felt terrible. I stopped being mad. I was like, are you okay? It's like, if you care about somebody, that's just what it is. Like, and even from that, I'm like, yo, I can't, I'd rather move myself then, because that experience alone just scared the crap out of me. So I don't know how guys go as far as punching, how guys go as far as like slapping and all that. I can't put my hand on somebody that I really care about.
Yeah, that's an inability to deal with your own emotions.
Yeah, like I can't. Like,
for you to be able to just, just release on somebody else that has nothing to do with what you're going through. No, that makes no sense. No. So
do you want to talk about the toxic relationship you was in, or you want to just let that rock?
I mean, I was in a toxic, well, yeah, it was toxic on both of our ends.
How so?
How is it on both of our ends?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it started off fine, and then after a while, yeah, I'm gonna have to get into detail, but I'm gonna kind of like spark notes. Yeah. After a while, like things weren't happening the way I wanted them to happen. So I tried communicating, it didn't work. I feel like I was kind of being manipulated in a sense. So after a while, I kind of stepped out on the relationship. No, I did. I stepped out on the relationship. Not kind of. It happened. And then we tried to work it out, but the trust was no longer there on his end anymore, because I guess he felt that I should have stuck through whatever he was putting me through. So he started like just going through my phone a lot and kind of like passive aggressively asking me questions, or whenever we would have an argument, things would come out that I didn't know that he was harboring, type of thing. And it became kind of like that situation where it was more verbal. Not to say that he was calling me like derogatory names or anything like that, but it was kind of like a mind game type of thing. And I didn't want to leave because I was afraid I wasn't going to find anything better. I was like, I've been in this relationship so long, and where am I going to find anything better? Because I've tried dating. We broke up, a few times, and I tried dating, and it was just terrible. So I was like, and I kept going back. So I was like, why not just stay in this relationship? Maybe he'll change. Maybe he'll, see me differently. Maybe he'll feel differently about me. Not to say that he didn't love me or anything like that. He probably did. I'm sure he probably did, but the actions didn't add up. So I just wanted to stay in it because I felt like I didn't deserve better. that's where my mentality was. I was like, well, I have this guy. He may not do XYZ, but he does ABC. So I should probably stick this out. And probably my last straw was when I had my daughter, because my experience being pregnant was horrible. So I just felt like, maybe it's time to just, after having my daughter, I was like, you know what, I don't see myself, because being, another pregnancy could have happened. And I was like, I don't see myself going through the same thing I went through with my child again. And that was unbearable. And I was like, I'm surprised. That's why I always say my daughter is meant to be here, because I was like, I'm surprised that I didn't lose my child from being stressed out so much, and crying so much. I was like, you know what? I probably have to walk away from this, because if anything else happens, if another pregnancy happens, I may die, my child may die, who knows? And I'm not gonna risk my sanity off of something like this. I think my child brought me clarity, because if I didn't have a child, I'd probably still be in the same relationship. I'd probably still be in it, because to me it made sense. I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna find anything else like this. Yeah, we probably not perfect, but this is it. I don't want to go nowhere. We've been in this for X amount of years. Why not? But after a while, like, you have to remember that you matter too. So once you realize that you matter and you don't want to lose yourself in a space that doesn't elevate you, that doesn't make you better, you got to move on.
I agree with that. Yeah, my situation happened when I was younger. So it's more a matter of like, all right, I'm going to deal with this. Whatever. I'm still doing me anyway. Whatever. I'm young. Whatever. Your situation is a little bit more serious. I'm glad that you're growing from it. I tell you that all the time. I'm proud that you're growing from it, because you went through a lot. And it's easy for anybody that went through what you went through to just give up on life. But you took it and you use it as fuel for a better self, to better yourself for you and your daughter. So I always want to applaud you for that, because I know it's not easy, going through all that and then still having to live a life after. So and it's just the same. It's the same thing. Like, when you're in a relationship, when you're young. I said this to a few people that listen to us, and they've hit me up on Instagram. Like, if I have one of our listeners that's 18 that hits me on Instagram all the time about his relationship, and I tell them, like, you're 18, you have sometimes it feels like there's nothing else out there for you.
But that young love kind of,
yeah,
it's impressionable.
Yeah,
you kind of can't take it away, because when you fall in love at a young age, it's like a huge deal. That love hit different.
I know.
That junk is like, you love with like your whole heart. Like, you feel like you want to give your whole life to this person.
And that's how it was for us.
Yeah, that love is impressionable.
Yeah, it is, and that's how it was with us. And I remember those feelings when I was dating you and feeling that way. And then how I felt after we broke up the first and second time when we were like 18, 19, because, parent situations or whatever case may be. But I'm like, I try to, like, I remember how, like you said, how all in you are. And it feels like there's nothing else out there for you. But
so it kind of seems like, the end.
It's the end of the world.
If you break up with the person, it's like the end of the world. But it's really not. It's really not. You have your whole life ahead of you.
You have so many years ahead of you.
And then you'll probably meet somebody that you fall, like, even more deeply in love with.
I'm not going to touch that.
But I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Like, even though you feel that kind of love for that person when you're young, but if it doesn't work out, you might find somebody that's like, 10 times better.
Right. Somebody that's really meant for you.
Right.
So sometimes with the things that you go through, sometimes it's best for you to just walk away at that age. Because at 18, 17, 16, 19.
And to be honest, I don't think anybody should be really dating, like, serious like that until you, like, 25. Because
I say 20. I say 23 because
Nah,
23.
because you young. Like you should be going to college or working towards something
But that's why I say 23
or
because around 23 you should be like your senior year of college.
experimenting with different businesses, traveling, getting to know because those years you're really getting to know yourself. In high school, you don't know who you are. You just like you're just trying to get through.
Right.
And once you get through, life hits you just like that, and then all of a sudden you have to literally try to figure out who you are, be an adult. If you're not fortunate enough to have like people take care of you, like your parents or family members or friends or whatever the case is, you know you pretty much have to figure out who you are. You have to kind of identify yourself, and truly, like, you really don't start coming into your own until you're like almost 30 years old.
Right.
So why try to, unless the person you already know, like, this is it, this person is for me, and then you do it. But if you don't, enjoy your life.
And even when you know that person is for you, if you really feel confident at that young age that that person is for you, it's like a Jay-Z saying. I think I said this to you before when we were younger. If you love something, let out of its cage. If it comes back, then you know it's there to stay. Because again, we knew that when we were younger that this is what we really wanted, but because of certain circumstances or because we're young, we decided to go elsewhere. And then at the end of the day, it was really meant to be because we're back here again. So if it's really meant for you to be with somebody, it's gonna happen. So if it doesn't happen the first time, or when you're in a young age, that's because you have to experience certain things without that person. So when you go back into that relationship, you're a totally different person who respects the idea of love more. Like, that's how it just is. Because if you were stuck with somebody since you were like 16 and then into your 30s, you don't really learn anything because you never really learned how to deal with a heartbreak. You never really learn how to deal with different personalities. You never really have time to find yourself. Like she said, like, to be honest with you, last year, so here's the thing about me. Before I got into this relationship, I was engaged to my son's mom. And me and her was going back and forth for 8 years. We got back together in the last couple of years of that 8 years. I proposed because it was one of the things was like, yo, my son's mom, I'm gonna have my family, da 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 da. I sacrificed a lot of myself going into that engagement. And when she called it off, I was very upset. And I even called Seth and I told her, like, I was very upset about it. I need to find out, time for me to move on, whatever the case may be. And then last year, after I was done being hurt and, feeling bad for myself and things like that, I honestly took the entire of last year from like February till, when did I hit you up? Like November-ish, December? Right? I hit her up like December. So I took from like February to like December and just really found time for myself. Really got to know myself again, realizing what I really wanted. And I started thinking about everything I was going into that engagement. A lot of those things were not what I really wanted, and it was just more so me sacrificing myself for the betterment of an idea. And then once I found myself and I knew what I want, then it was just like, aha. It's like an aha moment, like, okay, this is where my life is. This is how I want my life to go. It may not be perfect, but this is what I want for myself. This is who I am. So, and she could attest to this because the first time when I first, the engagement got called off and me and her had conversations, I didn't have a lot of answers about what I really wanted. And to be honest with you, she probably didn't have any much answers either because she was coming out of her relationship in a damaged way. And taking that year and just, reevaluating everything. And then when we started reconnecting again later last year, early this year, we had a lot more answers than we did the first time of last year. And I just feel like that's because when you take time to really learn yourself and really understand what you really want in a relationship, it means a lot. So don't never forget that. Like, young love is young love. You're gonna feel it. Like, take that pain and move forward. But understand that everything happens for a reason. So, Queen Unique is like, all I can say to you is that there's always, don't ever feel like you can't find somebody better, because at the end of the day, if that person is making you feel bad about yourself,
Yeah, you shouldn't feel like. I mean, and I kind of understand why people stick around and stuff like that, because especially if you've been in, like, you're really in love with this person, like you love this person, they mean the world to you, there's certain qualities that you just admire. I've been there. Like, you just admire a person because of who they are, how they how they interact with you and things like that. But you should never forget yourself, because if you are not at 100%, you can't give 100%. You can't give if you're not receiving. Like, you have to be poured into as well, and nobody should make you feel less than. I don't care. That's non-negotiable. Nobody should ever make you feel less than. You got to know that you are, as a woman, that bitch, that you have a lot of stuff going for yourself, that nobody can take that away from you. You're in a relationship because it adds to you. It adds life to you. And if that relationship dissolves, if no longer existent, you're still that bitch. That's where I want my fellow women to be, because nobody should be that deciding factor on how you feel about yourself. Nobody. I don't care if it's your friends. I don't care if it's your significant other. I don't care. Like, nobody should be that deciding factor. You should already know that you're an amazing person and you deserve all the love that you are willing to give. And I know as women, we willing to give a lot. A lot. Okay? So you shouldn't, if you know that what you can give, you're not being received, it's out there. Somebody is willing to give you exactly what you're willing to give.
and deserve.
And deserve.
That's
Amen.
Facts.
Amen. High five. High five. There we go.
I deserve you, babe.
Yeah. He be speaking facts sometimes.
Sometimes. I'm a walking facts machine. Anyway, that's our time here with Let's Have a Twosome. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube if you haven't already. Please share our videos on Facebook and on from Twitter and YouTube.
Like, comment, subscribe,
all that stuff.
follow, all of that.
Because we need to start, we have ideas we want to start putting into some motions, but we need followers to do so. So make sure you share our content with others. Thank you for tuning in with us on Station Head. Thank you for tuning in.
Thank you so much, guys. We appreciate the support.
YouTube, everything. Make sure you follow us on Instagram at LHA, the word twosome, or on Twitter, LHA, the number 2, and then some. Make sure you follow us on our personals at
Marry Me Seth on Instagram and Steph Spot on Twitter.
No, we're putting Marry Me Seth on everything after this.
Okay.
Anyway, and you can follow me at It's Simply Blue, 2 S's. And on that note, see you next week, 10 p.m. Wednesdays. Let's have a twosome on Station Head.
See you then.